Okay, so I was looking through my Google Notes since I write down a whole bunch of random scripts for videos, and I still have like probably 10 just sitting that I haven't worked with. But this is one of them, and I thought it was really funny, so I figured I'd read it out. Just go through it. So I graduated almost a year ago from college, but this was from my freshman year, all of these. Every time I had a really awkward moment that just like, well, it didn't like send me into panic mode, but it made me realize like, oh, like, whoa, what's going on here? I wrote it down, and there's probably like, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 9, maybe 10? I don't know. Like, different moments I had my freshman year. This was probably first semester, so here goes. One day, I had a Google Nexus phone at the time. If you don't know what a Google Nexus phone is, it's the generation before Google Pixel, and my uncle gave me his old one for me to take to college. And I had 2 roommates at the time, which was like, okay, it was pretty fine. Like, I was so nervous, and my other freshman roommates were also so nervous about waking each other up because one of them had a ton of sports and another one had a ton of extracurriculars, and then there was just me working on my YouTube videos until 2 a.m. And so we all had like pretty different sleep schedules, and we wanted to make sure like we were being respectful of each other. And so I think my roommates would like put their phones on vibrate, and I really liked listening to like different music when I woke up in the morning, so I had it set for a different song. I probably changed it once a week because it's a little thing that gives me joy. So I had that, but I made sure that like it would only go off for like a second or 2 seconds because I didn't want to wake them up. And I made sure it was like really soft music too, so that, and it was like really close to my head, so it only woke me up. There was one morning where I had this like really energetic Dance Gavin Dance song. It's called Young Robot. It starts off with like this beautiful flute playing in the background, and then it's screamo music. And my alarm goes off, and I click the power button on my phone, and it's not working. And my bed is also lofted at this point, so I go to turn it on, and I accidentally drop it. And it goes behind the heater, and I'm like, oh god, it's like, because I had an 8 a.m., so I woke up at 6 a.m., and this Screamo song is blaring through the heater, and I'm like, oh god, what am I doing? I finally got it out and got my phone to restart, but that was fun. Also, quick tip for your freshman year of college if you're living in the dorms, wear shower shoes. There was one point where I was super tired because I had an 8 a.m. physics class that was every single day. Unheard of. But there was one morning where it was 6 a.m. and I was like, alright, I'm gonna get up, like, take a shower, have a good morning, and I got to the shower, and for some reason I was so tired I took off my shower shoes. And my bare foot hits the shower floor. So slimy and gross. I have no idea what liquids were on that shower floor, but I disinfected my foot after that. Not fun. The first week that I was in college, it was like freshman week, so only the freshmen were on campus, and we all like played board games and stuff, and it was really fun, and they had like little events, and there was one night after I played Mario Kart, I think, with a couple of people, and I finished playing Mario Kart, and I was walking back to my dorm building, and this is like the second night I'm there, so I have no idea where I am. The campus I was on was incredibly small, but I was still lost, and I was like, it was like a chill summer night, and nobody else was around, and it was probably like 11 or midnight, and I'm walking around, and I'm like, oh god, I don't know where I am, and I'm like starting to freak out, and then all of a sudden, something hits me in the face. I'm like, what the heck is going on? As it turns out, it was a leaf. And I remember like screaming and then looking around, noticing that it was a leaf, and immediately just started laughing. That was a grand time. Another problem with my alarm, I don't know what was going on with my phone freshman year, but I ended up accidentally dropping it into a puddle later and had to get a new phone, but this was before then. This was probably second semester because I didn't have an 8 a.m. class, I had a 9 a.m. class. And by that point I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 8 a.m. actually and just like eat breakfast in the room and then go to class. It was probably a 10 a.m. class then because I had my alarm set for 8 a.m. And my alarm decides to go off 2 hours late. And I have to run to get to class in 10 minutes. It's probably very normal for students to get up out of bed and immediately just rush out to class, but I need my hour and a half, 2 hours to like take a shower, make a nice breakfast, write in my gratitude journal. Like I love a good morning routine. If I don't have that, I am not myself. So and I remember coming into class and almost like bragging to someone like, yeah, I just got here. And they're like, okay, cool. Like nobody cares. There was one time for my French course at the time, we had to like do these different activities and write them down where it was like, you have to go to meals and speak completely in French or like watch these films or something. And I, being a cartoon lover, went to my professor and was like, hey, could I maybe watch some French cartoons? And she immediately asked if I was talking about Miraculous Ladybug, which was just, it was so great. Like, I wasn't at the time, but also I was like, man, if I'm doing that for homework, I might as well. And she still sends me stuff about cartoons in French, and I love it. It's so great. Oh my god. My linear algebra professor freshman year compared teaching to belly dancing. I think in the sense where it's like, oh, well, you feel a little bit awkward about it at first, but then later you get more confident. And this is the same professor that I think I talked about in a previous video like years ago, where he was like, don't call me professor, that's too professional. And when I type out emails, I usually put like Mr., Mrs., or whatever term, doctor, if you will. And I was like, I don't want to say like, I don't know what name to put, Blorble, Mr. Blorble. So I was like, Brofessor? And he loved it, which was great. That was a great time. There was one guy that I played Dungeons and Dragons with my freshman year, and I had only seen him sit before. Like, we would always go to meetings and I'd see him sit, but I had never seen him stand before, which is really goofy. But I like saw him in the cafeteria one day and ran into him and I was like, whoa, you look so much taller in person. And I was like, wait, not in person. And immediately said, standing up. And he laughed it off, but like, who says that? Like, I had seen him probably like 10 times before then. And finally, for the cafeteria in my school, there was like one floor, and then there was like a balcony floor that was like the whole perimeter of the room. So you could like sit up on the second floor and like look down at the people. And I, being a very shy individual, usually sat up around the balcony area because there were like individual seats that you could sit at, and I'd like watch YouTube videos or something while eating, like a sad little freshman. And which there's no, like, I'm not judging anybody for doing that. I did that for months, but also like, it's kind of nice to eat with friends. So I, like, the whole time I'd be like, oh, I'm so lonely. And there was one point where I was sitting on the balcony above I believe it was like our soccer team or something. Maybe it was baseball or football. I didn't watch any sports. I still don't. But their whole team was down there, like, having a good time, and I was, like, sitting on the balcony, eating my food, watching YouTube videos, and I turn, and there's this fork, fling, and, like, flings all the way up, and, like, lands right by my feet, and I'm like, huh? So I think I had this notion in my head in high school that, like, I worked so hard in high school because I was like, I need to get into a really good college, and, like, everybody's gonna respect me, and everybody's gonna, like, work really hard, and college is gonna be really difficult, and, like, by all means, that was true. Like, I got a lot of respect for the hard work I did, and college was really hard. But at the same time, it's like, everybody's still a kid. Everybody's still growing, and there's a lot of awkward moments, so yeah, I figured I'd read this out. It was really fun to read through, because I remember at the time I was like, I'm an adult now, but also, showers are gross, and my phone's not working because the alarm's broken, and a leaf made me scream. So yeah, here's to that. If any of you are graduating this year, happy graduation. If you're not, happy day. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe out there, guys. Pizza out.